What's up, everybody? Brenden here from Past the Controller, and today I'm super excited, one of my most anticipated games of the year, to check out the first. We'll see. Normally we do this video, it's the first hour. Sometimes we do the first 30 minutes. I have not played the game yet, so I don't know how cutscene tutorial heavy the beginning of the game is. So we will either do the first 30 minutes here or the first hour. I'm not sure. We'll kind of figure that out as we go. I just like this video to usually be like a good showcase of the beginning of the game, so that way if you're hesitant about buying it, or if you just want to see kind of some of the game, that's a good representation of what to expect maybe. So we'll kind of play it by how the gameplay goes. Obviously the title of the video on YouTube will be titled correctly, so if we end up playing the first 30 minutes, that'll be what the title is, etc. If we do first hour, that will also be correctly stated there. So we will figure that out as we go. I will make that a determination as we get into the video and as we start seeing how much of the game plays out in that first little section. So if you don't know what Sea of Stars is, I guess I should also kind of upfront say, we're given an early code by the PR, by the developer, so thank you very much for that. But also, I did back this game on Kickstarter. I'm a fan of Sabotage Studio. I love the Messenger. I'm wearing a Messenger shirt right now. So I'm very excited for this game. I'm confident in myself to still be unbiased in my thoughts and reactions here to this game, but I think it's also fair to disclose that up front that I did back this game on Kickstarter, so whatever that information does to you, if that affects how you take my opinion, then there it is. But for this, at least we're gonna have, it's gonna mostly just be me reacting while we're playing the first section of the game. So with that being said, if you don't know a lot about Sea of Stars, it is technically a prequel to The Messenger, but at least according to the developers, if you haven't played The Messenger or aren't familiar with that world, it's also a prequel, it's not like it's a sequel, but this is supposed to be a contained story, so you should be able to enjoy this to its full extent without having to have played The Messenger. But without that being said, we're just going to hop right in. We'll quickly look at the options, just see what's in here. Vibration language, audio stuff, video stuff, controls. Okay. Let's get right into it. I'm super excited. This is one of my most anticipated games of the year. Sea of Stars has two main characters. Select the one who will lead the party. This can be changed later and does not affect the story. Let's see. So we have Zale, a blade dancer born on the summer solstice, walks the path of the guardian god Solon. Valir, I don't know if it's Valir or Valerie, but we'll say Valir for now. A monk born on the winter solstice walks the path of the guardian goddess Luana. I'm going to probably pick Valir just because I personally think I like this character design better. But it's good to know that that doesn't affect the story, because I wasn't sure if it would. Welcome to the Great Archives, adventurer. I suppose curiosity brought you here. An important trait, to be sure. I am the archivist, an immortal versed in the ways of alchemy. But perhaps you knew that already. After spending millennia cataloging the many events of countless timelines, I decided to return here to mull over everything I had seen. In my musings about the stories that fill these books and scrolls, I had a recent epiphany. It seems that in my haste, I may have overlooked the very thing I was hoping to find. As such, there is one special story I wish to revisit, one deserving of a witness. And should the mists of time allow a slight alteration, I believe the ray of hope that was once offered may yet bloom. So walk with me tonight and we will explore a tale of high adventure, of magic and deceit, of friendship and wonder, but mostly a tale of heroism, one that I believe will offer valuable insight in the search for a resolution to the throes of the Fleshmancer. Now I remain a bit lost amidst all these timelines and all their subtle variations, but I know just the one to make a perfect starting point. Let us see what we find in there. Ah, yes. Our story begins in a world visited by the Fleshmancer generations prior, causing much turmoil and leaving a mark that is yet to be fully cleansed. Somewhere on Evermist Island, two brave children of the solstice are on their way to meet with an immortal spirit. In order to become fully fledged Solstice warriors, they will need to learn how to use magic without using magic. Mountain Trail. Alright, we made it to the mountain trail. So far, so good. So the Elder Mist lives somewhere here, huh? Do you think it's just another test? Could be, but it sure beats sitting at the academy. And sewing. Yeah, I'm sure. Glad that's over with. Apply yourselves, for the will you weave into it shall be your sole defense in times of greatest need. While the lessons taught here may appear to be lost in you, something deep inside is compelled to learn. Ha ha. Music is already fantastic, but that I expected for sure. Hey, the sun will be setting soon. You should prepare to set up camp. Let's split up and search for a good spot. Time for some scouting. I'm coming through. Let's see. Probably just a select attack for now. Brugaves wasn't kidding. These feel easier to fight already. Let's see where this leads. I mean, the sprite work is gorgeous. Like, look at that water animation. Like, just the ripples off, like, the water hitting the rocks there. It's a little detailed. No turning back now. We have to reach the top and meet the Elder Mist. Like, it's just so gorgeous. So much detail. Look at the hair swing when you're running. This is a gorgeous game. Enemies not dying. You know? Eventually. It's like the other things yet. Okay, so I don't know if this is just for the beginning portion of the game, but it looks like it heals you in between battles. Ouch, tough one, huh? Let's try this. Skills it up. Yeah, crescent mark. Smash enemies in the rock. Villier, found anything? Just a dead end. How about you? Nothing of note. The way to the top is definitely through here. The sun is setting. Come over, I'll get a fire going. I'll be right there. Can't wait for more tomato cloves. Press A to unroll those ladders. I guess usually I note this in the beginning. It's worth noting I am playing this currently on an Xbox Series X. So I believe when it launches, it will be available everywhere at once. I believe it's going to be on every platform: Xbox, PlayStation, Switch, and PC. I don't know if there's. Am I going back around? I don't know if there is like a mobile port or like Apple Arcade or anything. The engraving has worn out, but it definitely mentions a rite of passage for children of the solstice, the Elder Mist. I believe, which is wild to me, that this is also launching day one on Game Pass and whatever the PlayStation equivalent of that is, or not equivalent, but like a similar thing, like the PlayStation Plus or whatever it may be. I know that there are tiers to the PlayStation 1, but I believe it is launching on one of those tiered things on PlayStation as well, which is awesome. I think if you have Game Pass and or if you have that tier PlayStation, like, you know, this is absolutely something you should check out if this looks interesting to you. I mean, we're still very early, but I'm already very, very hopeful for this. So I'm looking at, like, it looks like that little stopwatch above the enemy is there will probably be enemies that have like multiple turns that you can do before they can attack. I think they only have one so far, so yeah, and then it flicks to 0. So I'm assuming there'll be some enemies later, maybe bosses that have, like this one has 2 so. I guess we don't need to use that, so let's save our MP. Like, just take a minute to appreciate, like, the Sabotage Studio is very good with pixel art. I mean, I thought The Messenger was gorgeous. That had multiple different pixelated art styles. I mean, without getting into too much, there's use of 8-bit and 16-bit in that game, and I think they're all very gorgeous. But it doesn't beat the face you made the first time you tried smashing a sunball. Oh, I can still hear the headmaster gloating. As I said, whether by paying attention in class or by recklessly attempting to hit a projectile with your open palm, you will learn the first rule of solar magic. To be fair, you did learn. Oh yeah, that one only took once. You ever miss those years? Before training, before being kids, always daydreaming, and getting in trouble? And making mistakes. I'm sorry, Valera, I didn't mean... It's okay. I understand why he wouldn't want to join us after what happened. It's just... I wish he had said goodbye, you know? After 10 years of not seeing his face, just to know that he's alright. And that we're still friends. Why did he have to get ahead of ourselves anyway? Why did we have to get ahead of ourselves anyway? Oh, Garl. "10 years ago, in the village of Mooncradle, my weapon will be something that hits really hard. And I'll pick a fast one. We'll be unstoppable. Imagine all the wonders we'll find after we leave Evermist Island. I want to see the sleeper." What's that? You've never heard of the sleeper. Stories say it's a giant serpent and it's been sleeping curled up around the mountain since even before they were traveling historians to record it. No way. Sure is, and it's super dangerous too. But don't worry, it can't wake up. Why not? Apparently, there's holes in the mountain and the wind blows through them, and that plays a melody that keeps it asleep. Whoa. I want to see it too. It's the Bell, Erlina, and Blue Gaves are back. Quick, maybe we can catch them before they go to the academy. These books do save. They're saving. Oh, this is this. Let's interact with here. Doesn't seem so. So early thoughts on Garl. Does Garl end up being an enemy? Hey there, younglings. Are you still playing in that little cave down below? Blue pumpkins. These crops are our main source of food. It's hard work, but I'm reminded every day when we all eat together that the effort is well worth it. Look at that lighting. That's very, very good. I hope you're not getting into trouble again. Oh, we are. Hey, wait. There you are. Playing in your secret hideout again. You were training. I think I can use magic now. If that's so, let's see it then. Whoa. Come closer, Zale. Open your palm and concentrate. What about you, Valera? Have you been training too? Every day, I bet I'm stronger than you now. Ha, I'm sure you are. Come here then. Yeah. Whoa, easy now. I can't report to the headmaster if you knock me out. That was awesome, Zale. Who's Garl's trainer? You did it. Solstice Warriors. If you are done with your babysitting duties, I would hear your report. Right away, Headmaster. Can we go too? Believe me, once you enter Zenith Academy, you'll wish you hadn't. Let's go, Reeves. Hey, the full moon is out. He's right. Want to go to the Forbidden Cavern again? We tried already, I can't open it. Yeah, but last time we decided maybe the full moon could make the room more sensitive. I'm sure it'll work, and Moraine will be so impressed he'll take you to him for training right away, and then we'll finally be allowed to leave this island. What if he gets mad and delays our training instead? Nah, no way. Well, we can worry about that after I open it. I mean, if I open it. Alright, let's go. I know you wanted to catch all in our games, but it's starting to be late. Bedtime soon, okay? This guy's leaving. Remember, young ones, Celestial Willow was a gift from the Great Evil. Always treated with respect. This for a second, the wire is all tangled up. There we go. Alright, let's get a little save in here. You made it. Time to stop for a snack. What? I'm not hungry. Yeah, we just left a few minutes ago. Look, it's not a real adventure if you don't eat a snack on the road. Plus, I made something special for the occasion. Here. Whoa, that's really good. Yeah, no kidding. Glad you like it. It's the jam I used a bit of sap from the Celestial Willow. You could get in trouble for that. Only if you tell. Alright, I feel like Garl has some bad intentions. Alright. Haha. Alright, how do I do this? Maybe like Erlina showed me. Try opening your palm and concentrating. You got this, Valier. I knew it. It worked. I did it. I finally did it. So what now? The headmaster must have heard the bell ring. Do we just wait for him to show up? Might as well enter. It could be our first adventure. Yeah, and then the headmaster will know we're not afraid. This is exciting. Let's go. Forbidden Academy. There's monsters over there. Let's hide. I thought every establishment was safe. Because that's only true for one human cradle. We should go back. They look dangerous. Yeah, good call. Watch out, there's another one. This is bad, we're surrounded. Maybe try to use your powers? We're not ready for this. I don't know, just try. Okay, let me focus. Watch out, it's preparing something. Come on. Clear, watch out. Attack again. So it was you. As resourceful as you are reckless, I see. Headmaster, Carl needs help. It feels better. Like anyone born in Moon Cradle, a regular kid, what Carl needs is to not concern himself with the affairs of the Solstice Warriors. I'm really sorry, Headmaster. It was all my idea. Hey. Be thankful that the only cost of this lesson was an eye, young lad. As for the two of you, if you are so eager to receive training, I shall oblige. Follow me. Damn, Carl lost an eye. Make sure to treat the wound and soothe the poor kid. He's not the complaining type, but if the pain seems to return, please send for me. Understood, Headmaster. You will not see your friend for a very long time. If you have any parting words, speak them now. I can't. You come and stay with us? How long is very long? Like a week? The eagerness of the youth. It takes years to properly train Solstice Warriors. Years? No way. But your friends have much to learn. I would suggest you use that time to reflect on what happened today. With any luck, it will help you forget any ideas of getting along with a burden that is not yours to bear. Guys, don't forget about me. Never. We'll train really hard, maybe it won't take so long. Zenith Academy. In this ancient place of knowledge, you will learn everything you need to know in order to become true Solstice Warriors. We've been waiting for this for so long. When do we start? Tomorrow, though I believe a proper introduction is in order. Careful now. Welcome to the classroom in the sky. Whoa, it's beautiful. I'm feeling weird resonance like when I opened the forbidden cavern. Good on you for noticing that. Getting closer to the stars helps new recruits get acquainted with their innate magic. It shows great promise that you were able to feel it before, and Zale too, from what Erlina told me. Oh, it was just a small burst. They have no idea how much potential they have. It is probably for the best. Now, in the many years you'll spend at the Zenith Academy, you will learn about the duties incumbent upon Solstice warriors, of the magic you are destined to wield, and the evils it is meant to cleanse. You'll learn how to fight too, right? Naturally. You will spend your days training and studying, but most importantly, sewing. Sewing? That sounds boring. Oh, I can assure you that it is. A mandatory task nonetheless. All who will join our order begin by weaving their will into the enchanted piece of fabric, the staple of the Solstice warrior. It is their most prized possession, guaranteeing light in the darkest places and a measure of protection against the minions of the Fleshmancer. But first, you must learn of your duties. Train until you cannot feel your limbs, and then train some more. Once both your body and mind are ripe with potential, you will create a magic piece of fabric worthy of the very stars. You will then be sent out beyond the Forbidden Cavern to meet with the Elder Mist, for it alone may officially grant the title of Solstice Warrior. Sewing. I understand it is not what you were hoping for, but it is what is required for your time, for the time being. Years of sewing. That will be all for today. You'll be spending a lot of time in these halls, so you should make yourselves at home. To your left is the training room. You're to go there first thing in the morning. Just above is the way to my chambers. It is off limits, of course. And to your right are the dormitories. Just make sure you pick a bed aligned with your innate magic. Feel free to look around, then go to sleep in your room. Good night. Well, first thing we're going to do is go patrol not to. Red and blue torch. Seems like we'll have to enter that together at some point. Maybe. Check out the train. Oh, that's cool. Like, in the distance below us is Moon Cradle. That's really fucking cool. Oh, there you are. Moraine finally decided that you were ready. It's time for bed. I remember when Helena and her games were your age, they wouldn't stop running. Oh, I feel old now. Sewing basics. Definitely a crystal up there. So we can't get that yet. Just a bunch of old books. Go to sleep. I think this bed is for me. Let's find yours. Go to sleep. The next morning in the training room. Good morning, fellas. Brigades. So you'll be our trainer. I wish. Melina and I are leaving tomorrow, but the headmaster was kind enough to let us make your first day special. Are you ready for training? You bet. That's what I like to hear. I reckon these should be well suited for the two of you. Zale received training silver. I under-received training staff. Alright, let's get to work. You got this, Blair. Don't give up now. Never. Come on, Zale, keep up. I can do this. 99, 100. That's it for today. You did great. Phew. That was a lot. Feel free to take a break. Arlene will see you on the terrace whenever you're ready. Oh, there you are. Ready to learn magic. It should feel as if something was scratching an itch far away from you. You must focus on the sensation and compel it to come closer. I think it's working. Hey, you startled me. I almost had it. Now mine's gone too. It's okay, just breathe slowly. Try to release only when you feel its current passing in front of you. If your timing is true, it will manifest on 3. 1, 2, 3. I think I felt it. It tickles. Right there, you just did the hardest part. I'm sure your training will go well, but one more thing. No matter what the headmaster teaches you, remember that this is your life and Arlena. Since you are done onboarding our new recruits in the ways of magic, I'll provide the briefing for your next assignment. Interesting. As for the 2 of you, it's about time you tried that sewing kit. Move along now. And making a magic piece of fabric worthy of the very stars sure is a tall order. Yeah, I have no idea what shape to even make. At least the headmaster said we wouldn't get it right the first time. Well, I'm bored. What are you doing? I'll just walk around and do it. Saying that, but the Fleshmancer left our realm for good when the Dweller of Strife was destroyed. So why can't they have a normal life? And you know that the 3 of us can take the one on Wraith Island. We don't need them. Prudence, Arlena, there is no telling what threats we may face in the future. Valir and Zale were brought to Mooncradle by the Great Eagle. It is not the place of the headmaster to question such things, and neither is it yours. So how much is enough? What about Moyara, what about the twins? Brigades, do not judge a sacrifice you cannot begin to comprehend. This conversation is over. They will study here while you carry on with your investigation. On the first eclipse, after their training is complete, they will join us for the cleansing. Learn as much as you can until then. But let's just go, Brigades. And so they trained and they sewed for days and then for months. Faster now. Focus and then release. And the longer a dweller is left to its devices, the stronger it gets. This makes patrol duty essential. Let one grow for too long and you have a world eater on your hands. Against such a foe, even a legion of social stories would be helpless. Since delaying only increases the chances of a world eater, cleansings always target the strongest dweller known to us. Headmaster, if dwellers are immune to our magic, how can we fight them? That is why the cleansings are always performed during a total eclipse. In these moments only, the dweller's weaknesses are exposed. How many dwellers are left? Just the one known as the Dweller of Woe, but we cannot know for sure. The Fleshmancer just may have planted other seeds of evil before leaving our world. Thus we must always remain vigilant. Headmaster? Yes, Valir. What happened with the Dweller of Strife and who's Moyara? That will be all for today. Lots of secrets up front. A few weeks later, a sound in the night. Valir, wake up. Zale, what is it? I think I heard a voice coming from the entrance. What time is it? Who cares? Let's go check it out. Alright. Hey, look. Oh, smells good. There's a note. Dear Valir and Zale, if you're reading this, it probably means I got caught. I'm writing this as a failsafe, but I hope to see you in person. I made cookies filled with the celestial willow jam you liked. Keep reading. I'm doing everything I can to be ready to leave when you graduate. In the meantime, I hope your training is going well. Oops, now the platform is almost up and I can see Moraine is there waiting for me. He looks very angry. I'll try to drop the jar without him noticing. I guess this means I won't be able to try a visit again. But I'm thinking of you every day and I can't wait. I hope you like the cookies. Your friend until the end of time. Garl. Garl's the best. Let's go up on the disc. Let's eat the cookies. Got cookie jar. These cookies are amazing. I can't believe Garl was just there. I miss him so much. He seems well, at least, after what happened in the Forbidden Cavern. Knowing him, I bet he smiled away the next day. Haha, you're probably right. We can't let something like this happen ever again. At this rate, it feels like we'll never sow something good enough for the Elder Mist. It will happen. We just have to keep on training harder. And so they trained and they sowed for years. And then they trained and they sowed some more. Until one day. Zale, that's the one. I can feel it too. Hold on. Alright, I think I got it too. Let's go see the headmaster. I think we're past the 30-minute point, so we'll probably just play for about an hour now. Got a good feel for the intro of the game. Headmaster, we think we're ready. Why yes, the tingling of magic in the air has been building up for a few weeks now. Congratulations. Moving forward, there will be no more sowing. I can deal with that. It will soon be time for you to leave on your journey to meet the Elder Mist. But before we get to that, the Sound Academy has one more challenge for you. Oh, our visitor just arrived. Perfect timing. Wow, you've both come pretty strong. Hey, it's good to see you. Arlena and Brigades are here to help you review the basics of combat. Check in with them, and then it will be time for your final test. Ready to go through the basics of magic? Yes. When enemies prepare spells, you must do everything you can to prevent them. If you follow your senses, you can try dealing damage of the types that will break their concentration. Simpler spells will only demand normal attacks. Valir can do blunt damage and Zale has slicing. Let's see you break this one. Okay, so that's what those icons mean now. That makes sense. So 2 blunt attacks and 2 sharp attacks will break their or break their stance. Just like that. Now some spells will also demand magic damage to break. You can control your projectiles now, so let's give it a shot. Zale for sun and Valir for moon. Boomerang. Press A to deflect. Oh, I didn't time that right. Sunball. Hold A for power. Well done. Now you can sense your MP is a bit low, right? To keep up the pace in the battle, you must remember to regenerate MP. Let's build it back up a bit. Hit me with a normal attack now. Oh, okay. Did you feel that? You just got some MP back by attacking. In battle, awareness leads to victory. You must pace your spells with normal attacks to avoid ending up in a dire situation with no MP available to get out of it. And on the flip side, you should not hesitate to use spells when MP abounds, for a regular attack on a full bar is a waste of regeneration. The key is to experiment, keep on varying your actions, and find the rhythm appropriate for each battle. One last thing. All battle actions, lock, breaking, especially build your combo energy. When you have enough, you can spend combo points to perform powerful actions. Combos cost no MP and are lost after battle, so you should never hesitate to use them. Moraine told me you came up with your first combo attack. Show it to me. Solstice Strike. Yeah, you're strong, alright. Keep an eye out in your adventures. You're bound to come across scrolls that will teach you more combos. Good luck with the exam. I'm sure you'll do great. I'm going to review combat basics. Let's get started. Just attack me now in any order. Use the D-pad to set the double trackers. Party members can use their turn in order in the order of your choice, but they can only act once per round. When all of your party members are on cooldown, the round resets and they all become available again. Good. Focus is paramount whenever you perform attacks and skills. With proper timing, you can increase the damage that you deal and sometimes even score additional hits. Let's see it. Press A as the hit connects to increase damage. Good. Let's see that one more time. Ouch. Yeah, that's the gist of it. Most of your attacks and spells can be made more potent with proper timing. Some also keep going with more hits until you miss. And remember to think of timed hits as a welcome addition when you pull it off, rather than something you're supposed to do perfectly all the time. So don't worry about it too much, just keep on trying and your sense for it will develop over time. Okay, now for timing your blocks. Let's get the little guy in here. To be efficient in battle, you must pay attention to anything that starts moving. With proper timing, you can reduce the damage of any incoming attack or spell by blocking. Get ready. Press A as the hit connects to reduce damage. Oh, way too early. That was too soon. Stay focused and press as the hit connects. That was too late. Stay focused and press. Damn. Okay. It can be difficult sometimes. Here, let me help you. Now. Good. Let's see that one more time. I think I got it, right? That was too late. Oh, okay. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Can be difficult. Oh. Right. I would have hit that one properly. That's how you do it. Remember to always stay alert. Some patterns will be harder to read than others, sometimes even requiring multiple blocks. But don't be too hard on yourself. No one is expected to block everything all the time. It's not about getting it perfectly all the time, but rather building a growing sense for it. Just think of a time block as a welcome bonus whenever you have to pull it off. The key is remembering to read your enemies and to keep trying. Oh, one more thing. When a party member gets knocked out in battle, you'll need to switch to a more defensive mode. KO'd allies will get back up on their own at 50% once all the KO stars are gone. Once KO stars is removed at the end of each round, and more you fall during the same battle, the more KO stars there are, so be careful. If all party members go down, it's game over. Fight and survive until Zell returns. I like that mechanic. I really want to hit a block before this session is over. And there you have it. Good work today. I'm sure the exam will be a breeze. Rain will see you do the final test. I'm sure you'll do great. Are you ready for the final test? Well, we're ready. And let us begin. The big day has finally come. Over the years, Zenith Academy has tested you in many ways. We will now test you one last time. Have you prepared your vows? Yes, Headmaster. Then speak them now. You go first, Zell. Okay. Ahem. So that I may use my agility to cleanse this world and protect my companions, I will enter the world as a blade dancer. I chose the curved blade as it will not hinder my speed or reflexes. Welcome, Blade Dancer. Come on, Valir. I did it, now it's your turn. So that I may use my strength to inspire hope and eradicate evil, I will become a battle monk. I chose the staff for it won't break no matter how hard I strike. Welcome, battle monk. Today you must demonstrate mastery of everything Zenith Academy has taught you. Your final challenge awaits below. Please step aside. Oh, before I forget, here's a little something to keep your health full. Obtain 3 times Tomato Club. Now, with the faith in your abilities and purpose in your actions, take the leap. And return as the new recruits of our order. I'm ready, Valir. Let's just go for it. Cookie jar. Found ornate stone. I think I hit a block. I did not hit that one, so I hit a block. Okay, alright. so bad. Oh my goodness. We'll get there. Dual combos. Let's that. I believe it said that the combos don't carry after battle, so so you don't think we should at least try and explain? You've seen how strong they are. Word will be a walk in the park. Let's see them off then. Get through the beginning of this before the hour is up. Exam mode engaged. Brace yourselves. Sharper weakness physical. Alright. So if I'm understanding combat off the bat correctly, it seems like we should always start with MP skills just because physical attacks get us MP back. Way to start. So we're doing alright. Also seems like so we should, for this boss, we should be changing depending on what his weakness is. Right now his weakness is sun, so we should do sun. I guess we can just attack. Get some HP back. Getting better at blocking. I should be better at this regardless. I've played a lot of Mario RPGs and played Mario. Alright. So we want 2 block attacks and a short attack. Ooh, okay, so doing that counts as 2. That's plus 1 damage. I like level ups like this. Like this is very Paper Mario RPG style. I kind of love the health, but let's keep visible. Plus 3 physical, plus 2 magic, plus 1 damage. Let's go. Physical to start on both. Start to vary as we go. Not that you'll know that how I play. Congratulations, you have been trained well. Return now to your headmaster. Congratulations, Blair and Zale. You've learned everything Zale's Academy had to teach you. Ha. We did it. In record time, too. You must now learn of our ultimate power, the ability to use magic without using magic. That knowledge is for the elders to reward. Come, the villagers have gathered to celebrate your departure. seems like the intro to this game is going to probably wrap in nicely in an hour, so we're kind of on pace to just hit an hour of this, which is great. It is on special days such as this one that the citizens of Mooncradle are reminded of the importance of their duties. Where's Garl? Yeah, there's something up with Garl. I don't see him. Many years ago, Valir and Zale were delivered to us by the Great Eagle. Deliveries on 2 solstices in a row to boot. A very rare occurrence. Oh, I remember Gran was so happy to get to meet 2 more before she passed. I miss Gran. All of you have come together to nurture and protect them just like your ancestors had done for so many children of the solstice before. Valir and Zale, step forward so that the good people of Mooncradle might gaze upon those who will soon join the ranks of the solstice warriors. This parading is ridiculous. I'll let the villagers have their fun. It's all they get. So you're okay with this now? You know, I'm not. Now cheer with me as we send these young heroes out across the Forbidden Cavern to meet the Elder Mist. Hooray! To the gate. What do we do? I want to see Garl before we leave. I guess we have to play along for now. Fingers crossed that we can come back after meeting this Elder Mist. Fingers and toes. Valir, Zale, you must undertake this journey on your own now. You will not fail, Headmaster. Go on through the Forbidden Cavern to the top of the Out Trail to seek audience with the Elder Mist. Learn how to use magic without using magic, and you shall enter the world as true solstice warriors. May Luana's might protect you. May Solon's light guide you. Here, this should keep you fed for a little bit. Contain 3 tomato clubs. They love their tomato clubs. If your adventure feels a little tough, you can take a look at these. Amulet of Storytelling. Sequent Flare. You just received your first 2 relics. Find them in the relics section of the main menu, accessible with wine, to adjust your experience. Whether you prefer a lighter challenge or are looking to push yourself to the max, relics offer a range of options. There's bound to be more to find. Remember to keep an eye out for the merchants selling any valuables you might find will keep you well fed and well equipped. Now, wherever your adventures take you, you must remember your first assignment. After the Elder Mist sends you out into the world, you must secure passage to Wraith Island in time for the next eclipse. You do keep on training, for a dire cleansing awaits us. I still can't believe he wants to fight my door already. That's Brenden for you. You weren't much older the first time. Yeah, but we'll find a way. Safe journeys, and may you cleanse this world. May you cleanse this world. Save. Alright. It's tough to know if this is a good time to stop right here, or if we play another 5 minutes for this video. Ooh, let's see. Sure feels easier now. This time we make it through. Alright. Since this might be a little bit longer of a section, seemingly, I think this is a good time to stop. We're at the store. We're seemingly coming to the end of what would probably be considered like the introduction tutorial part of the game. Off the bat, I mean, we did just save it. We'll save it again real quick. So, I mean, gameplay-wise, in-game, that's the first 56 minutes or so. We'll go back to the title screen for the wrap-up here. I mean, there's still plenty of game to play here. I am very happy with how this is going so far. I'm very much looking forward to playing more of this. As soon as this video ends and I get this wrapped up, I'm going to be jumping right back into this game because I have been waiting to play this for quite a while. But that's the first hour of Sea of Stars. Again, I was playing this on Xbox Series X. It'll be available on pretty much everything at launch. It'll also be on Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, or one of those PlayStation subscription services. I definitely think if this looked interesting to you, it definitely plays as good as it looks. It is gorgeous. The music's great. The combat already looks like it's going to be fun and has a lot of depth and strategy behind it, but you can probably also play this and, maybe brute force your way through it. Again, the game could get harder, bosses get harder, but that introduction of relics right at the end there also makes it seem like there's going to be a lot of options and customizations for, adjusting the game difficulty for your own, preferred playstyle. So I'm assuming that, if you are not that great or don't want to have to think too much or have a hard challenge, those relics are going to probably make that game a little bit more accessible to you, which is nice to see. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. I'm very happy with this so far, and I hope that the feeling I have right now is the same feeling that I have, if not greater, by the end of this journey. And I hope you take the chance to check it out for yourself, because I think this is going to be one of the big ones of the year, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Again, I'm Brenden from PTC Controller. We will probably have other Sea of Stars content up as the game comes out. This video obviously will also come out around that time, so if you watch this and you want to hear more thoughts about this game, I'm sure we will have some written stuff, as well as at least one dedicated podcast or a portion of a podcast episode dedicated to Sea of Stars when this game comes out. So if any of that is of interest to you, be sure to look out. You can find the PTC Controller Podcast everywhere that you find podcasts. You can find it on YouTube. You can watch that specific episode. You may not be able to watch live on Twitch because we may record it before and then post it later. But we'll see. Depends on how things go and who we get on for that specific episode. But we appreciate you. We hope you enjoyed this video. We hope you enjoyed your time. Check out other things on our channel, on our website, and we'll see you next time.